All right, welcome to Heels, Deals, and Wheels, and today we have the lovely, seasoned mobile home investor. Oh yeah, you know that's you, Miss Missy Malone. How you doing, Missy?
I am doing well, Kelly. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So me and Missy have been corresponding on the FaceTime, making phone calls. When we both started off as newbies in the mobile home business. And now we're both pretty much considered seasoned. And
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You might be, Kelly.
No, you know you seasoned. You know you see.
I think I'm still a newbie, quite honestly. But it's all good, seasoned or not. It's an ongoing process for learning, right?
Right. So Missy, tell us a little bit about you, and then how you started off in the mobile home business.
Okay, let me try to be as short as I possibly can. So this mobile home investing journey for me is actually my second act, Kelly. I was a medical nail technician prior to all of this and was trying to find something that I could do to supplement my income. When the pandemic came, I was actually working at a hospital, and so obviously being a medical nail technician, that's not considered essential. And I had to figure out how I was going to continue to bring in some income, and I happened upon mobile home investing. To be quite honest with you, I've always wanted to get involved with real estate, but the traditional way just seemed very far-fetched for me in that it was very costly, so I thought. And so I just kind of started doing some research. Happened upon mobile home investing, was intrigued by it, and the first thing I did was dive into a wholesaling program. And that was probably, I want to say maybe the end of June or July of last year, and I've kind of just been moving ever since.
All right, so Missy, I recently reached out to you because I noticed you acquired a free mobile home. Can you run us through how that happened and run us through the numbers of that mobile home?
Yes, so really what I did was just went down the list of mobile home parks, Kelly, and was just calling people to find out if they had any fixer-uppers or handyman specials, anything that they had where, they would be willing to let me come in and work on it. And I happened upon this park, and she told me they had handyman specials available. The home that they were giving away, you basically are just responsible for the lot rent, and then they give you an opportunity to fix it up. That's how I just literally asked, and that's it.
And so how much was the lot rent?
$385.
Okay, and did you have to apply through the park, or they gave you like a storage agreement, or?
No, I did apply. And so what I did is after kind of establishing, now my dog is acting silly with his toy, so I apologize.
That's okay.
Squeaky toy. But really what I did is I applied as if I were going to be a resident of the park. I was told that was just your policy, whether you were considered an investor or not. I did that, and that was it. Just put out the paperwork. They gave me their requirements on what they would expect of me as far as renovating the home, and that's it.
Okay, and so it was a free mobile home, and did you rehab it?
I did. I thought I was going to try to wholesale it and flip it, but the more I started looking at the home, Kelly, I thought, you know what, I could do this. And I'd seen other people, so sorry. I'd seen other people post their, testimonies and success stories about fixing and flipping, and I'm thinking if they can do it, I can too. And so I just kind of went. I don't even know if I went feet first. I went head first, feet first. I was just all in, not really knowing what to expect.
Okay.
But we did it. I'm going to say I acquired the home like in October.
Okay. And
we finished it probably, I'm going to say right before Thanksgiving. And obviously there were some unforeseeable things that occurred, but we got through it. And I actually just closed on the home. I did a rent to own this past Friday.
Okay.
So very excited about it. Still a little scared because, again, I'm still new as far as this part of the exit strategy is concerned.
Right.
But I'm enjoying the ride for sure.
Okay. And so when all is said and done, did you calculate your return on your investment? But I guess this renting, so you're going to have money coming in
Yes.
Forever.
Now, I will be very honest with you. Obviously, I already know that I put way more money into it than I should have.
Right.
Just listening to other people's podcasts and stories or, lessons about investing, I've heard that the cap is $8,000. That's like the general cap.
Okay.
I probably put 10,000 into it, but that was because my husband, who is in construction, and he also does rehab, but he does rehab on commercial buildings and doctor's offices and things of that nature. So I think he got involved and started putting extra stuff in there. But at the end of the day, he is a numbers guy, and we were able to calculate, okay, what it would take for us to recoup that money and still earn, get what am I trying to say, a return on our investment. So we actually listed the house for $22,500. That would be like the cash price, right? If someone were to buy it outright.
Okay.
But we also decided, financing it, doing a rent to own would probably be ideal. So the home has to stay in the park for 5 years. We decided to extend that to 84 months.
Okay.
And the lot rent being $385, we wanted we made the rent $700. Obviously, that does include the lot rent. But at the end of the day, we're going to do $315 each month. So, and again, that's for 84 months. So after we did the calculations, that interest would be about $6,600.
Wow. Okay, so really, you didn't have to put, like you said, how many months was this deal to rent it?
84.
84. So really, you didn't have to say 84. You could have received this money for the rest of your life, as long as the mobile home was. Yeah. So this person wanted to own that mobile home eventually. That's why you put the cap on the money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But really,
they
you
reached out to us.
You could have found somebody who would have paid you that for the rest of your life, and you probably could have increased it later on down the road if you got a new tenant. Correct?
Right. And there, there's always a possibility, I'm knocking on some wood, that doesn't happen, because we do have some other homes that we're looking at. However, if that doesn't happen, like if they decide, we don't want to rent to own, there's still that opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? So that's the beautiful thing about mobile home investing, is that it just don't stop. Like, it does not stop.
And that's what I try to tell people. And so in my course, I try to interview people, Missy, like yourself. I'm not trying to interview somebody who's been interviewed 50 million times.
Sure.
I want to interview the average person, like you and myself. And it's going to come a point where they're going to interview you to death, and I'm not going to want to interview you no more. I want to interview the average person, because a lot of people think, oh, Missy got in on this deal in the beginning. She got in on the mobile home business in the beginning, so that's why it works for her. I don't want people to think that, because this could work for anybody. This could work for anybody.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. I think really what holds people back, Kelly, from being successful or taking that first step is fear. Like, you've got to be able, first and foremost, to speak, talk to people. That's number one. You've got to be able to talk to people. And then number two, you have to kind of develop a thick skin, because everybody is not going to understand what you're doing, and there's going to be a lot of rejection along the way. Once you get past that, I think you will be on your road to success. I can't tell you how many mobile home parks I contacted, and they were like, what? No, hung up in my face, got cursed out. Deals fell through. People didn't do what they said they were going to do. I mean, you name it.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure I will continue to experience that, but that's part of the journey. That's part of it.
Right. But would you say that the good outweighs the bad?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. But you just have to keep going. Keep going. That's the thing. Keep going.
And so what would be, and you pretty much done said it already, what would be your words of wisdom for somebody new to this market?
I would say, don't get stuck with thinking you have to know every single thing about mobile home investing. And I am like that. Like, so when I get involved with something, obviously I want to soak up as much information as possible, right? But there comes a time when you have to take what you've learned and you have to apply it. It may not be perfect. It may not be the same scenario that, Kelly or Amy or Susie got, but you still have to apply it.
Right.
So I would say, you continue to learn as you go. Don't get so caught up in, oh my God, I've got to learn all of this before I actually start, investing. No, I'm still learning as I go. Like I would read a module. Okay, let me apply that. Put the module down and I would start making phone calls,
Okay.
or I would start doing ghost ads, or whatever it is the module suggested I do. I just started applying it immediately.
Okay. And so you saying module. So is there a course that you took?
Yeah.
Okay. You could go ahead and mention that course.
It is. So when I first got involved, obviously I was told that wholesaling was the best route to take because that requires the least amount of money, right?
Okay.
And that you would also be able to do a number of wholesales so that you can raise your capital, so that you could explore other exit strategies. So I took Shaman Van Gundy's wholesaling program.
Okay.
And again, that was towards the end of June, early part of July last year.
Okay.
And I did that, followed her program, and acquired my first home probably started July. Probably at the end of July, I acquired my first home.
Okay. And so where do you mainly do business? Is there any state, or do you venture out to other states, or?
I actually have ventured out into another state, but I think I did that by accident.
Okay.
I think someone responded to my ad, and they were looking for a home to put in Oklahoma. I happen to know of another mobile home investor in Oklahoma, so I was like, well, I don't have this one available anymore, but let me reach out to my business partner
right.
in Oklahoma. Now, he's not my business partner officially,
exactly.
but he is a fellow mobile home investor.
Right.
And so we collaborated and got the deal done, and so that was my first virtual wholesale deal.
Right. Because you
I will go wherever.
Yeah, because you and I almost did a couple of deals. You had a couple of properties that I was interested in, but I like three bedroom, 2 bath, but I think yours was like 2 bedroom, 1 bath or something to that nature. But we almost cut a deal or two a couple of times. So,
we did.
Yeah. So how does the paperwork go for buying and selling a mobile home? What do you do?
So what I have used, like, first of all, when you want to get the home under contract, if you found a seller that's agreed to work with you and has allowed you to market the home, if you're doing a wholesale deal, you do want to get what we call a mobile home purchase agreement. And basically that's just stating that the seller understands that you are marketing the home on their behalf. You are going to find an end buyer for that home. That's the first document that I got. The second one I got once I did find an end buyer was the mobile home sales agreement. And that's basically stating that they are going to purchase this home as is, and it's going to be for this amount. And then, of course, you list everything that comes with that home, whether it's the appliances or no appliances, whether it's air conditioning or no air conditioning, whatever is included in that home, you always want to stress as is on that mobile home sales agreement. And then I also just recently started using an assignment contract, and that's just for my own records, so that the end buyer and the seller know that, hey, I have assigned this contract. I'm basically turning this contract over to this end buyer, and I just want them to sign off on it. Some people use that and some people don't, but it's just something for my records is all.
Okay. And so do you help with the transfer of the title, or these contracts, that's the end of it?
So I'm going to say on this last one, because I closed on a wholesale deal this past Friday as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so the gentleman that bought the home, the end buyer, he really wasn't too familiar. This was his first mobile home purchase, right?
Okay.
So he wasn't even sure where to find a transporter and how to put all that into place. So we all met up at the bank, made sure that the monies were transferred over appropriately or properly. I then assisted him with getting a transporter, and then I also gave them that title right then and there. I did provide the seller, though, with a copy, just in case, because these things happen, and so I just wanted everybody to have the proper documentation just in case they needed to refer to it later.
Right. So, Missy, where do you see yourself 5 years from now in the mobile home business? Where do you see yourself?
5 years from now, I would love to be in a position where I have a mobile home park. I think at the end of the day, once you get involved with this, That's really the end goal. Because it's nice to have a home that you've, sold for cash, or that you rented out, or that you've done a rent-to-own process with. But the ultimate is owning that whole land, right?
Okay.
So I definitely want to get a mobile home park or two under my belt.
Right. And see, I know that new investors, when you get into this business, it's just second nature that you're going to eventually want a park. And that's why I do offer a free 7 series mobile home buying park course along with my course, because it's just once you finish my course or anybody else's course, that's just second nature. This is what you gonna want to do.
That's what you aspire to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you serious about it, that's the end goal. That should be, at least. That should be.
Right. So, Missy, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're busy, and we both got 2 barking dogs. I think my dog outbarked your dog, though. I think so. So, do you have any final words that you want to add? And number one, I don't know if I said it, but I do appreciate you taking your time out to talk to me. I've been waiting to talk to you for a little bit. And when I saw that free mobile home, I said, I got to interview you, because people are not going to believe you could get a free mobile home. I actually came across a couple of months ago 3 free mobile homes, and I wholesale sold those out. But people just don't believe it. So do you have any final words before you leave us?
I think just kind of repeating or reiterating what I said before. If this is something that you're serious about doing, definitely go for it. Do find a program that works for you. There are lots of mobile home investor courses out there. I would say do your due diligence, to decide which one meets your needs, because again, there's exit strategies out the wazoo, right? So figure out which program is working for you and just do it. And then the second thing I would say, Kelly, is just to make sure that you stay connected. I don't know, you could possibly be successful doing this by yourself, but you will get so much further along if you have a support system, and that can be within your household, or you can be with other mobile home investors, right? So I think on this journey, I've established rapport and relationships with other mobile home investors like yourself. I have a couple of transporters that I have befriended, other wholesalers, just the gamut. So I think if you just stay connected and just put yourself out there, get comfortable being uncomfortable, then you're well on your way.
Oh my God. I mean, I love that last saying. You said, get comfortable being uncomfortable. I love that.
Yes.
So, Missy, before we leave today, do you want to give people your contact information, or are they able to contact you about a mobile home?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and give that.
I'm still learning. I'm still, trying to get LLCs and all that stuff together as we start, acquiring more homes. I was like, I need to get serious about, really getting this in my business name.
Right.
So I coined myself the Trailer Cash Queen. So if there are some other Trailer Cash Queens out there that want to get started, you are more than welcome to give me a call. My number is 817-969-7909. And like you, Kelly, I do have some other homes that I'm wholesaling. So just know that you're not in this by yourself. I'm not going to hold your hand and coddle you, but I will definitely, be with you along the way if this is what you want to do.